Okay, this is a 97 Honda Civic 1.6. I'm replacing the O-ring and the oil seal for the distributor. It's leaking and I gotta take care of it. O-rings to the right, oil seals to the left. And let's see what we can do. This is a DIY moment. Okay, that's the distributor there. So we're gonna have to take it off. We're gonna go inside it. We're gonna have to take the O-ring off and the oil seal, and we'll take it from here. It's a 97 Civic non-VTEC 1.6 engine Honda. Purchased this Honda about 6 years ago for my son. It was a salvage title on it. It got hit on the right side, but really nothing really major. Only bought it for $1,600. It had almost 200,000 miles on it, and I might have $200 to $300 on in this car since I purchased this one. So it was definitely worth the buy. He since went on to buy another Civic. There you go, right there. So he's upgraded a little, but he loves Honda, so that's what he's done. So right now, I thought the valve cover, I just replaced the water pump on it about 6 months ago, and I thought that the valve cover was leaking. When I replaced the water pump, I put a new valve cover gasket on it. That wasn't a problem. Got on YouTube and they said if it isn't the valve cover, 9 out of 10. Then he said no, 10 out of 10 chance most likely is the O-ring and the oil seal leaking. So I'm about to start that job. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull the spark plugs out. Real easy. Just pop 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now you have 3 bolts that mount the distributor. 1, 2, and 3. So those 3. 1, 2, and 3. So you just take those 3 off, and you have a wire connector that needs to be taken off, and they have a tab on it, which is right here. The tab is right here. You just push it down and you pull it from this end. Don't pull it from the wires, but pull it from that. Sometimes it's pretty tough to take off, but you just keep moving around and it'll come off. And once you take the 3 bolts off and the wire harness, you can take the distributor completely out of the vehicle. And when you're replacing the spark plug wires, is easy with these Honda Civics. All you have to do is go from short to long. They're all sized. This would be the smallest wire, which is closest to the distributor. Then you got another wire that's a little longer than the shorter one. Then another wire that's a little longer than that one, and another wire that's a little longer than that. So the 4 wire spark plug wires are really easy to replace, so you won't get them mixed up. If you get them mixed up, it won't start, or it'll really run rough. So you'll kind of know. So that's pretty simple. When taking off the distributor, though, always mark where the distributor is compared to where it's mounted at. So what you want to do is, I still have a mark here. There's a mark I put right there. I put a mark right here, and then I matched it up with right there. This is where it separates from here to here. So when I put it back on, I just used the mark that I had on there already and matched it up. So I've taken this distributor off already and put it back on. This is just a re-video, kind of editing what I did before, but that's what I did. So it's real simple. Just 3 just three bolts and a wire harness, and taking off the spark plug wires, and you had the distributor completely out, nothing touching. Okay, I just separated the wire harness, little lever over the side you had to pull off. So that completely takes the distributor away from the car. You can take the whole thing. Here's your distributor here. That's the O-ring on the far left there. And that needs to be replaced. We got to clean her up. Then we got to do some internal work on it to put the oil seal on there. So you can see where the oil, there is a leak. See that to the right over there? Yeah, nice leaking right there. So there definitely is a problem right there. So we're gonna, looks like we found the problem. Clean her up and put the O-ring and the oil seal on there. There's your distributor. There's your engine without the distributor, the wire connector, and we're gonna clean this baby up and we're gonna do the darn thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, this is probably like a $300 job. We're gonna do it for total maybe $10 total, so save you $290. Okay, be back. Okay, this is the distributor cap, which is gonna have to come off, and they have 1, 2, 3 mounting bolts that mount onto the distributor. 1, 2, 3. So that takes, you're gonna have to take that off so we can get inside the distributor cap to get to the oil seal. I showed you where the oil ring is. Now we're gonna try to get to the oil seal. So this is the whole distributor to the Civic. So go around and kind of give you a look at what it looks like. And we okay. Okay, if you can see, I removed the screw. I removed the screw. Now I'm gonna slide the rotor off. Screw was kind of tight to get off, but I removed it. Now the dust cover comes right off. Okay. Okay, this is what the distributor looks like with the dust cover off. I believe the oil seal is on the other side of this, so I have to take some components off to get to the oil seal so I can replace it. Let me show you the other side of the distributor. That's your other side right there, which I already showed you the O-ring. So we're in the process of taking some of these components off on this side to replace the O-ring, the oil seal. O-ring doesn't look like it's going to be too much of a job, so I'm going to tackle the oil seal first. Okay, I found out that I'm going to have to come out the front here to be able to get to the oil seal, so I'm going to have to remove the snap ring, which is located here. It's a little gap in the snap ring. What you're going to have to do is wiggle it out, and that'll be the first part of getting this out. And then we're going to have to get a couple other things off, washers and stuff like that. But first thing you need to do is remove the snap ring. Then I'll tell you the next step. Okay, this is the snap ring I removed from the distributor, which was located right there. You had to part it and work your way off. It has a little groove in it where you can start taking it off, and you have to work it away around the distributor. Where is it at? See the little parting right there. So you have to work it around. It's metal, so you have to work it around the distributor to take it off. I think it's pretty easy to put back on. Okay, after removing the snap ring, you're gonna there's a pin that holds the snap ring in place. It's just a supporter for the snap ring. It sits right there. You just push it right through, and it comes out. Push it right through, and it comes out, and then you can slide the other component out like so. Slide it out. Just say it again. Slide it out like so. After you move the pin, it does have a washer. Two washers. So make sure you put that back. It's all about fittings. And okay, now next thing we're gonna do is loosen. We're gonna turn it over. We turned it over, and we're on the other side of the distributor. We're gonna remove these 3 screws. 1, 2, and 3. And I'll show you the results after I remove them. Okay, I've removed the 3 screws. Now I'm gonna have to remove the gasket that goes around the distributor that holds the cap on. As soon as if I can find a tool to be able to take that off. I can't find it. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm gonna take this off real quick. Just get underneath that gasket. Not very hard, just get up underneath the gasket. And once it's loose, it comes off pretty easy. You should replace this gasket. You should replace the gasket. Anytime you take a gasket off, you should replace the gasket. But guess what? Okay, now we're gonna have to go to the other side. We're gonna have to push this in so the other side come out. Those 3 screws, so the other side will come out. Those 3 screws mounted the component to the distributor, so they're loose now. And what you're gonna do is push on this end to remove the component. So I'm about to do that. I can't. I got the camera in my hand, so I can't do both. So I'm gonna push it. I kind of explain what I did to how to get it out. It doesn't just pop out. You have to do a little work. Okay, we're gonna have to remove these wires, which you just slide them off. This one, this one. Well, you know, take that back. I'm gonna have to unscrew the 2 screws here instead of taking the wires off. I may take the 2 screws off. First time I did it, so I'm just going through trial and error here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the 2 screws off instead of sliding their ends off, because it looked like that might be the easier way. Okay, I also took a screw out of Phillips screw out of this area. It's a bracket that mounts it, so I took that screw out also. I slid the guts out of it. Now it's over to the side of the distributor. That's your oil seal right there. Now we need to remove the oil seal. Okay, you got 2 position centers, one on the right and one on the left. I marked it blue to make sure I put them back in the right place. There's a blue right there, and that's the blue side of the distributor. distributor cover is, the frame of the distributor is also blue, so make sure that it is on the right side. Don't put it on the wrong side. There's a very good chance you can only put it that way, but just make sure that I put it that way. So I'm going to pull them on out. Magnets, they're magnetized, so they just kind of stuck to the side of the distributor. And there you have it. Now you got an empty distributor, and we can pull the seal out. Okay, we're gonna have to remove, to be honest with you, I don't know what it's called. 2 bolts right here, mounted out. Pretty long. One here and one here. Those two just screw up. You just screw those out and it slides out like that. Now it's bare. You can do work on it. Easy. Slide in, slide out. Nothing to it. Really easy to take off. Okay, to remove the seal, you're going to be on this end of the distributor, and at a slant, you're going to have to stick a screwdriver into the seal and use the back of your inside of your palm and go around the seal until you get it out. Sometimes the seal breaks, but you're going to have to do a little work to get it out. So just work your way around the seal, the inner part of the seal, until you get the whole seal out. It's a little gap in between there. Okay, I got the seal out. That's the seal right there. Where you at? That's the seal right there. I got it out. That's where the seal was. So I got to clean that out with brake cleaner to keep it real good. And replace the seal. Okay, I cleaned the area where the seal goes pretty good with brake clean. Got it nice and clean. I also did the outer cover, kind of cleaned that up from all the oil that was on there. So I'm going to put the seal on, and then I'm going to put the O-ring on, which is on the other side. So I'll be installing the seal. Looks like I got screwed by eBay. The original oil seal is on the left side, and the one they sent me on eBay is on the right side. You can clearly see the one on the right is thicker than the one on the left. And the new one slides right in without any problem, so that's a problem, because it should fit snug. It shouldn't slide in without a problem. You should have to kind of force it in. So you can clearly see that the one on the right is bigger, which is the wrong one. So I'm going to have to deal with this company on eBay with the wrong seal. The O-ring fits perfect. Go through that. I'm going to have to deal with it. I might have to go to my local parts store to get this seal, hopefully. So, okay, this is the O-ring. I'm going to replace this O-ring, which is right around this area. It's real simple. Just stick a screwdriver in between the base and the O-ring, and it's rubber, so it should come off with no problem. Okay, I have screwdriver in between the O-ring and the just flips off real easy, like so. Let me show you the old O-ring that has been on there for a while, which probably is the main leak. That's your old O-ring. It's brittle. It feels almost plastic. It just broke just now again. So just to show what happens over time and heat. So this one, the new one, is real rubbery and flexible. So that'll be good for many more years. Okay, you're looking at an empty housing for the distributor. It's Wednesday now, about 5 o'clock p.m. Of course, I couldn't finish it on Sunday. I thought to buy an oil seal for this distributor would have been pretty easy. Go to maybe my local auto parts store, and they didn't have it. The big box auto parts store didn't have it, and believe it or not, the dealership don't have oil seals for this distributor for a 97 Civic 1.6 DX. So I got up early this morning. I was off today. I thought I could have called those places. I did, and all of them said no. Of course, they said yes at first because they thought I was talking about an O-ring, but I said no, oil seal. They still thought I was talking about an O-ring until I got there. Yeah, we have it. And you get there and said no. I said no O-ring. I need an oil seal. So nobody had it. The dealership didn't have it. They told me I had to buy the whole distributor for over $300 to get it. To get it because they don't sell them separately. So I just got back from the Junkyard and I finally found one. So most of the time your oil seals don't go bad, so don't replace it if you don't have to. If it's damaged and you have to, then I just warn you ahead of time, you cannot buy it. You have to probably go to the Junkyard and find one and try to take it off, which isn't easy. I got lucky and got this one that's not damaged. So and don't buy them off eBay. I bought an O-ring oil seal set, and the O-ring was fine, but the oil seal was too small. So don't buy them off eBay. Nobody has them. So your best bet is keep the old one and try to size it up. But most of the time, these problems are the O-ring problems and not oil seals. So don't replace it unless you absolutely have to. Okay, that's my warning. Okay, here's the oil seal here. Oil seal here. It has a spring on the inside of it. This is the old one where I taken out. If I'd have known that I couldn't replace it, I would have never taken it out. I would have never taken it out because there was nothing wrong with it, but I damaged it getting out, so I definitely had to get another one. This is the one I got off eBay. Of course, you can tell it's a different size. It slides right in, where the original one is actually wider, so it's kind of hard to put in, which is good because it makes it snug. This one right here fits in. The one on the right slides right in with no problem, with no interruption, so that definitely won't fit. So that was bull crap. So I'm finna start putting this stuff back together again and get this thing mounted and get it going. I'm out. Next version. Okay, I have a 13mm socket, long socket to tap it into place. Don't hit it hard, just tap it long enough to where it's fitting there snug. Okay, got me a nice snug fit there for the oil seal. Okay, I'm gonna put the O-ring back on. Really simple. It's real flexible, so you shouldn't have too much of a problem to put it on. I'm gonna do it with one hand. Bear with me. And there you have it. Really that simple. Okay, your O-ring is installed now. Okay, now I'm going to replace, like I said, I'm not sure the name of what this called on the distributor. I took 2 bolts that mounted them on. I'm going to do the reverse. Simply just slide this in the slot right here. And the holes line up perfectly, so I need to put 2 bolts in those 2 holes on the left and the right. Okay, I have the 2 bolts in there, all snug tight. Okay, next step. Okay, now I have to install the position sensors that I took out earlier. There's one on the right, one on the left, and it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Just reverse what I did. One goes here, 2 mounted bolts, 2 mounts there, and then the other one goes there on the left, right there. That's the one on the right, that's the one on the left. So that's what I'm about to do now. Okay, the 2 position sensors have been installed. One on the right here, one on lower down on the left side here. Very easy. Okay, now we're going to have to take this shaft, slide it back into the distributor, and I think there's 3 mounting screws to mount that. There. You just see the hole, just put the shaft inside the hole where the oil seal was at. So it's all really not hard. Okay, I just replaced the gasket. I should have put a new one on, but I just put the old one on. And it ain't nothing, just fit it in. Easy, you can't put it on wrong. It's shaped, so just mounted that, so put the gasket back on. Okay, I just mounted the 3 screws back into the distributor. 1 at the top, 2, and on the side here, 3. Now I'm going to turn the distributor over, and I'm going to install this back here. It has 2 washers. 2 washers. And mounted that on. Then it has a hole here at the top. Slide this on. And slide that on. And I'm going to install a pin. You have to align the hole up to put the pin in, so there's the hole. There's the hole, you slide the pin inside of it. That's the pin, and just slide it on down. Okay, I got the pin in. I couldn't do it with one hand because I was holding the camera, but the pin's right there. Slid that down. Okay, now we have to install the snap ring, which will lock the pin in. And I don't think the camera can pick it up, but you can see a groove. There's a groove right here that the snap ring goes on, which will go over the pin. So here's your snap ring, and I'm going to put it right over here. Can't do it with one hand, but I'm going to put that on. So next thing you know, it'll be on. Okay, snap ring is on now. That's your snap ring right there. So that's over the pin. That'll lock the pin in. Okay, we're going to have to, I'm about to replace the dust cover. And real simple here. Okay. Make sure it fits snug. And the rotor. Here's a little screw that, see the hole there? There's a mounting screw for the rotor that you just have to screw in, real simple. Okay, I just mounted the 1, 2, 3 screws to mount the cap, which is pretty easy. I forgot to put the bracket back on here, so that's something, just a little bolt that you got to screw back on. I'll be doing that in a second. Okay, the assembly is complete. I don't know why the assembly is complete and is ready to be mounted. Okay, the distributor is mounted back onto the head. What you need to know is that the distributor has 2 male grooves in it. It fits inside the female, which is on the head side. So you just slide it in there. It's a groove. You slide it in there until it fits. It can't go any other way. You'll know it because it'll slide snug up against the cylinder head when you put it in there. Mount the 3 bolts. Mount the 3 bolts back on. Slide them in by hand first until you halfway through, so you can make sure they're not stripped. And then you use a 12mm wrench to bolt them down pretty good. Put your wire connectors back on. Put your connection back on here. It's easy to do. And of course, put your plug wires back on. So it's pretty easy from that point. From that point on. Okay, I forgot to mention. When you mount the distributor, remember the 2 lines that you had to meet up that I marked on the distributor and the cylinder head. So always line it up, put the 2 grooves in there, and then slide it into where you line in the 2 marks on the distributor. So line up correct. That's it for the videos. This is my first video, so as you can see, I probably have a lot of work to do. But if you like it, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. So I'll save you a couple of dollars. This is a do-it-yourself DIY moment. You will save a few dollars. Mechanics charge between $200 and $300 for this job, so you can save a lot of money. So have a good one.